today we are going to discuss string functions. So already we discussed that whatever that variables are the types, or we discussed that data types of different data types, so numeric data types, data types. So now we are going to discussing strings. What are the strings we are going to using? So hope you people are, everyone will going to understand the difference between fixed length string and variable length strings. So already I discussed in the previous sessions. So this is going to fixed length strings is going to declaring as the string right padded with the spaces to the length of is specified. So see, understand it here. The string is right padded with spaces to the length of the specified. Okay, and then variable length strings is, see, the string is specified and no padding takes place. That means, suppose char of 20. So you utilized character of 20 size. So you utilized only 10 or 20. Suppose 10. The rest of 10 is going to padding with the space. It's padded something, right side padded. So the space is unnecessarily wasted. In variable length, what will happen? String is specified with no padding takes place. The space is going to available, but in pixel length is not available. Character large object C labs you're going to use it. This is a 128 TB space will going to allow. So you can declare it. Strings is always in between of the single quotes. Okay. The name varchar of 30. Company varchar of 30. And introduction is C lab and choice is char 1. So simply just I try to display that information, that's all. So nothing is beyond this. So here you can see ASCII is a value will going to display, and CHR function, concatenate function, unity. So these all functions we have seen in SQL. In similar way, you can going to use it in PLSQL as well. So all functions we can going to use it. See, you can see NVL function, NVL2 function. So what is this NVL2 function? If x is not null, then it will return value 2. Okay, if x value 1, value 2. If the value 1 is, if return the value 1. So always, if whenever x is null, then it will return the. If it is, x is not null, then it will going to return the value 2. So understand? Return value 1 if x is not null. If x is not null, it will return value 1. If x is null, it will return value 2. Understand?
Okay, sir.
So rpad, soundx, substrings, okay, in string, trim, upper, all functions already people are seen. So you can going to use it into PLSQL also. So you can see here, simply nothing, it is going to greetings. It's a one variable they declared. In this variable, they are going to using upper, lower, init cap, substring of this minuses, and substring of positive variable parameters. You can see all the functions simply. That's all. Okay. And the example 2, you can going to display. So trimming, LTrim, right trim function, it's going to trim both the sides, right? So if you want left side, if you want right side, how you want, you can going to trim it. So these all string functions, you can going to utilize it. See, these things are very simple, but what you are going to expecting? What you are going to expecting in these examples now? Tell me, in your day-to-day work, suppose in your PLSQL, See here, simply you are going to putting substring of greetings comma -1 comma 1. Now in your real time, some scenario is coming. The scenario is one engine number is coming. Understand? How engine number is coming? Let me show you that. Suppose in your real time examples, suppose something you are doing for coding. Okay, that coding level. Just I'm giving one example to understand you people. Suppose something you are doing in package coding, some validations you are doing. While you are going to doing validations, suppose some engine number is there. E1456. Okay. TBL. Okay. TBL. ENN like this. Now only you want to separate that numeric value. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన whatever that numeric value is there, how do you going to capture only numeric values? I want to get it only numeric value. I don't want the other than that. Suppose now one more engine number will come. Always engine numbers will coming into the starting three that whatever that order is there. So like this, if it is NN at NM, like that it is coming. Okay, so now you want to separate it this numeric value. How do you going to separate this numeric value? How do you going to separate it? Write a substring and get it that only that value. How to write a substring now? Substring of that value. So where it is numerically starting, where it is going to ending, based on the parameters, you can pass it and then you can get it that value.
Yes, sir.
Got it. So that is the way you can going to think it. So, sir, here I practiced means your mind should have to think about beyond that. Where I can able to use this, in which scenario I can able to use this, and what purpose I can going to use it. So if you think like that way, automatically whenever the requirement is coming, so your mind will going to think about which function will going to suits to get this function, this requirement. Understand? Which function will going to help to get it this requirement? Which scenario is good to see? Suppose if you are strong in this, what is substring is doing, how you are doing, what is INSTR is doing, how you are doing, depends on their requirement. Now one more is, so just one more requirement in this string where this TBL is coming. TBL is coming on the which position it is. In the number, you want to get it the TBL position. TBL is nothing but a company name. E stands for engine. The sequence starts for some year. Which year it is the engine is manufactured. Understand? Now, so now what you feel it? You feel it as a now you want to get it the company short code. Company short code is a TBL. So now they are asking to display company short code also. But there is no company short code value in your table or anywhere in the database. In that particular tables what you used for the query. How do you going to get it now? See, now what they are telling is get the company code. So company code is not stored into any table in that whatever the table's company code. So but what will happen now? You are seeing this. This is called as the engine number. In the engine number, you are seeing the company code is stored. In the sequence of the number itself, you can going to see that company code is there. Now the company code, how do you going to get it now? TBL. So immediately you need to think at yes how to get it this company code in this engine number. So you can think it and then you can going to get it. So immediately your mind should have to think about which function we're going to use it and how to use it, what conditions we can use and get it this. Write a substring and get it that company code. Simple logic, right? Yes or no? I hope all of you understand now.
Yes,
So
sir.
the requirement is coming like that way. But what this will going to help? This will going to help basics. How you are doing? It is a basics. Now you want to use the company code is suppose TBL. If company code is equal, now you need to write one condition. If company underscore code, the company code, how are you going to get it now? Company code is equal to TBL. They gave it to TBL. TBL. Then I need to do some validations and end it. So you can see. So I want to do how company code will come now. LC company code, right? LC underscore company code. How do you going to get it? LC code already. This engine numbers are stored into one of the tables. Suppose select. Okay, engine underscore number. Okay, into from table. Suppose some XX engines. XX engine info. This is the table. You can imagine it. Okay, how we are doing now. How do you going to get this information now? Engine number, right? So now LC underscore company code. This is the variable, local variable. You declare it here. So how it into this variable name. But that engine name is you are not going. You don't need the entire engine name, right? But you need the company code. How company code will come? Substring of substring of what are the parameters you need to pass? Where it is going to start substring engine number.
6.
So how many strings? 4, 5, 6. It is going to start by 6 and by 9.
Yes, sir.
6 comma 6 comma 9. Got it now? It's very simple. See now you got it engine code, company code here.
Sir,
I
6
want to
comma 3.
right. Sorry, the 3 numbers, 3 characters I want to print. Okay,
Yes.
now only 3 characters is coming, and it is going to see now how you are going to here you can going to do it your coding style again inside. So hope you people understand the functionality how it is used it. Sir, shall I use it to directly in the here itself? Sir, I don't want to use a substring of this blah blah blah. I don't want to use there. Shall I use here? Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's possible. Understand? It depends the way of style. I told you right yesterday. Depends on your way of style. You can going to do it. Here you can remove it. Here only can take engine number, but here you can going to get it that substring. Got it? So how
Yes,
you
sir.
are going to using is that is very important. Either you are using function in the condition itself, or you are using in the select level itself. Okay, that is depends on your way of work style. Sir, I used it here. So some people will use it here, their style that is. Some people use it here. It's a different style. But ultimately the output is same. Got it? But that is your mind power. So how you are effectively going to using functions and coding style, that is depends on you. If you are very strong in the coding side, you will going to do it wonders. Okay, I'm going to be telling this the rest of all the functions you can going to use it. Okay. Now see, suppose I feel it. Now can you people tell me? I feel it sometimes data maybe will come like this. E1456 TBL TBL NM. Like this it is coming. You don't know, is it coming uppercase or lowercase? How we will going to overcome this? Tell me anyone. So from the database XX engine info table, you don't know how the data is coming from, either uppercase or lowercase. How do you going to do that now? Anyone tell me? If it is suppose fee records are coming uppercase, at that time the condition is true. True or false? True. But unfortunately, after coming some data, it is coming lowercase. Is the condition is the true or failed?
Fail, sir.
Failed.
Fail, sir.
So how are you going to overcome that? So here upper, even it is coming lower,
Using the upper method.
upper method, where I need to use? Shall I use it if condition itself, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So upper half,
Yes.
you can going to use upper half. Understand?
Yes, sir.
You have to put it this side also upper half. Sir, I already gave it upper, but you can keep it upper over. Got it? See how this function is helping now. The reason is, if from the database the engine numbers is coming upper or lower, you don't know. So why do you want to fail it without knowing? Suppose you don't know. Suppose if it is coming upper, perfectly fine. It is upper only. If it is coming lower, then automatically upper will going to convert it. Got it right?
Yes, sir.
So yes, tell me please. So you have to think it how you will going to applying your this practice things into real world. You can going to use it in the similar way. Okay. So each and every function in the day to day, every day you people going to use it. Okay. Suppose now I feel it. My engine numbers are coming perfectly fine, but in the starting, ending, some engine numbers is coming some space. It is going to storing in the database some space. I observed it some data, few records I observed, some space is there. How do you going to overcome now?
Using
See in
trim
the
function.
yes, in the database you feel it. It is some spaces that when it is storing, some space it is stored. At that time, this condition is going to true or false.
False, sir.
The code is coming some space. What you will going to do? Automatically it is going to getting failed. So how to overcome this issue now? So you have to use whatever the function it is available for you, and you can going to do it. Like this way it is going to store. So what you will going to do? You can going to use trim function. So that means automatically whatever that spaces are there, it will going to trim it. Even in the both the sides, whatever you are going to using, you can going to trim it. So you have to trim that way. So hope you people understand how the functionality is going to we are using here. Forget about in this document. This document will help you only the basic scenarios. What is sorry, the function it is, how it is working. But you need to think beyond that and where it is applicable, how it is applicable, and how to do that one. That is more important. Okay. So let's move on to the next. So arrays. Any questions on the previous functionality?
No, sir.
Okay, hope no questions. Okay, let's see. See, you can use it different scenarios. So you don't know what situation, what type of scenario will come. Okay. So just what you have to do, you have to practice and prepare very well in the subject wise, technical wise. So when you start your real work, so automatically the requirements will come. Lots of requirements will come. So when you can able to apply, so when you have strong knowledge, okay, strong practice knowledge, automatically will going to apply it. Right, arrays. Arrays is it is very helpful for declaring the data types of arrays. Okay, so it is a programming language. It provides the data structure called as an array. So it is going to which can store the fixed size sequential collection of elements of data, same data type. Now I want to declare one student name of S name array type, array data type. Array data type, if you give it, how much size you give, that much size you can going to store it. Okay. So it is used to store an ordered collection of data. So again, the data is it should be in the ordered sequential order type. Okay. Once it is the sequential order it is, then automatically it will going to print that in that way only. Let's show you some examples. See here, create or replace type. Type name is varray data type is varray of n of element type. So create or replace type name. Type name is varray data type. Type is varray of n. N is a size. Varray is a one data type of element name. Whatever the element name you are going to give, you can give it. So var name is a valid attribute name, and create or replace type is a syntax. Create or replace type name is varray of n and element type. So you can going to n is the number of elements maximum in the varray. Element type is going to whatever the element we are going to using. What type of data type it is? Is a character data type, a number data type, or date data type? How it is? Okay, create or replace type name array, names related array as varray of 3 of varchar of 10. How many names you can going to store in this varray? 3 names you can display. 3 names you are going to store it in varray because varray of 3. What is the data type of that varray? How much size you can going to store it? Only varchar to
Varchar.
10. Varchar to 10 you can going to store it. So now type name is varray of 5 of varchar to 10. So 5 names you can going to store it. So one more is grades. So 5 grades you can going to store it, integer data type. Now how to use it in this functionality? Let's see. But this is not recommended in your daily work. Okay. So for practice purpose, understanding purpose, okay. But in the future, suppose in the client place level, most of the cases is not recommended. What is the reason? Any reason not recommended means? Now you can see. See, you created a type name is VRA of 5 of varchar 2 of 10. So VRA we created. How many names you can store it? 5 blocks is going to differentiated. VRA of 5. VRA of 5. So 5 names you can store, 5 grades you can store. Now this is the next type data type declaration. Names is equal to, now the variable name is names. What is the data type is? Names array. Marks is equal to a variable, local variable. Grades is a nested data type. Nested data type. Keep on mind. Nested data type. It's not data type. Nested data type. Why I call it nested data type? You already declared in the above. So now names array is what is the data type? Indirectly, what is the names array data type? Varchar 2 of 10.
Varchar 2 of 10.
So grades is integer. Now
Yes.
names I am going to storing. How many names I can going to store it now? Total
5.
5 names. Five names I stored it.
Fine.
Grades also five grades 5 marks I stored it. Five marks I stored it. Total how it is coming? Total count of names. Names dot count. This is a attribute one. Okay. Now for loop I wrote it. For I in one dot total of total. What is the total now? 5. Total is count, right? Names dot count. Names dot count means in the names how many count it is there. That count will come. So now here one dot total. Total means 5. One dot 5. So here student name and marks names I printed. I is a index variable. So that variable names I am printing. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, like that it is going to printing. And loop it is. Let's see the example. So you can see the output. See, total five students. Name is equal to Kavita, 98 marks. Okay, Pritam, like this. You can go into Ayan, Rishu, Azaz. Okay, like this it is going to printing. What is the use of VRA? You can going to store it. You can going to store it a pixel length array, pixel length strings. You can going to store it a pixel length strings. So what you need to keep on mind, how to use VRA is very, very important. How to create a VRA, create or replace, type name. Okay, create or replace, type name is VRA of size of element name. So, and how to store the data, you can going to keep on mind. So that is, so we have some drawbacks also. Don't use this one. So are you able to store it more than 5? No, you can't, right? So that is a very big drawback. So whatever it is, you are going to use it, that you are going to use it. So in the type name, that varchar 2 of 10 we are giving. What is this one? Customers common name, customer dot name percentage type. What is this one? What is the difference between varchar 2 of 10 and customers dot name percentage type? This is a row type data type. Okay, row type data type we declared it. So simply can going to use in this also in the similar way. Same example, but the difference is you declared as a percentage row type. You are not specified your manual data types. So just you can use it that way, whereas. So before going to the procedures, let's start it. Exceptions. Exceptions is very, very important. One second. So, any questions on that concepts? Right. So exceptions, so it's a major concept this also. So what is an exception means an error condition during the program execution is called as an exception. What do you mean by exception? An error condition during the program execution is called as an exception. Got it? And PLSQL supports the programmers to catch such conditions using the exception block. Already people see the exception block. Why we are going to doing the exceptions? If it is anything went to error in the execution level, automatically exception section is going to catch it. The exception section will catch it and it is going to handling that error. So we have two type of exceptions. So one is system defined exceptions and user defined exceptions. System defined exceptions means Oracle provided standard exceptions. So you can going to use it in your coding. Suppose in the yesterday session we have seen, so the previous session we have seen, right, no data found. Is it a system defined exception or user defined exception? Tell me which one it is that is. Data found. It is a no system defined exception. Okay, it is a system defined exception. So we created some standard exceptions. For different purposes, we are going to use it system defined exceptions. And the user also you can going to define your own exceptions. Okay. The general syntax of this exception section is, so exception, you can going to write it exception handling ghost here when exception then and whatever the statements you have. When exception 2, then whatever the statements you have. When exception 3, whatever the statements you're going to say. Finally, others statement you can going to do. When others, that is mandatory. It is a standard syntax. It is. Whatever you have system defined exceptions or user defined exceptions, you can going to keep all the things. How are you going to put it? When no data found, then you can keep your one. When record expired, that is user defined exception. You can keep it like that n number of exceptions. The end of the exception is when others then. Okay, fine. So let's see some examples so people understand more. Now you can see this. No data found. See, suppose in the select statement it is not giving any data, automatically it will end to exceptions when no data found. No such customers. When others than error, it is a error. So no data found is a user defined system defined exception. So how it is working, you people already know that. And rise exception. Rise exception is going to right. This is the user defined exception. So suppose you want to do some exception, define that. So rise keyword is used to define your user defined exceptions. Okay. So keep on mind. So most of interview questions they will going to ask. So what is the user of? Excuse me. Right. So here you can use internal database errors, whatever the errors you want to display, you can going to use rise. Okay, exception name. It's said then that data type is going to, it should be exception name of the exception name, and it should be data type is exception only. Okay, if the condition is failed, The if condition is failed, immediately you can use a rise, whatever the exception name you have, you can keep your exception. And when your exception name, then your statements you can going to use it. Let me. So suppose you want to something, anything you can going to keep it. So what type of example you can give? So whatever it is, suppose something you want to once the condition is that whatever the condition you are checking is age is below 18. Suppose age is below 18. Condition is age greater than or equal to 18. Greater than 18, not greater than or equal to, greater than 18. Immediately, whatever your exception is, age exception. Okay, voter ID, voter's age exception you are putting. Voter's age, EXP, EXC. It is the exception. Condition is age greater than 18. Sorry, age less than 18. Okay. If it is less than 18, then you can write immediately the exception. The exception name. The statement here. The voter is not eligible to apply the vote due to under 18. You can go into compare with it that way. So user defined exceptions you will going to see. Rise application error also you can going to do. You're going to understand. And EID. So in this example, exception user defined exception may declare it when it is going to rising whenever that ID is greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0 means it's a negative values, right? Negative values. Whenever ID is coming 0 or below 0, below 0 means negative value. At the time, I raise my user defined exception. My user defined exception ID must be greater than 0. Understand? That is a user defined exception. You can declare it. So just to try to execute these examples and how the control loops is going to working, try to understand it. Ask me if you have any questions. Predefined exceptions here it is address into null. So it is raised when null object is automatically assigned to a value. Okay. Suppose something now into variable we have, right? Whenever we are going to inserting data, suppose null is going to assigning at that time, this trigger will going to use case not found. Suppose the case is not found. Collection is null. Collection is null means so the next sessions we will going to see type variables. So at the time we are using collection variables. So at that time how to use this one. See, these are invalid cursor. Suppose you are going to using cursor creation. So cursor is not found. Data is not found automatically. Invalid cursor, invalid number, login denied, no data found, program error. So these all are the standard exceptions. So different purposes and different you can going to use too many rows. When too many rows will come, tell me anyone. So already people seen, right? So whenever fetching more than one row, suppose if you are using group functions, you are not using group by statement, automatically this too many rows function will going to rise. Select into statement returns more than one row. So like this, these are the standard functions. So you can going to use